If you don't want to build a PC yourself, a Prebuilt PC might be your best option. And if you're working with a tight budget, buying a Prebuilt PC might be a difficult task because there are so many bad Prebuilt PCs out there that is crazy. For that reason, I will show you my favorite budget Prebuilt PCs that you can buy right now, and you will get amazing performance for the price. I will also explain to you everything in simple terms, that way you are able to understand even if you are a beginner, and I will also show you the estimated performance, like the FPS average on different titles. So if you are a beginner, you will get a PC today if you are working on a tight budget and you want a Prebuilt gaming PC and not a PC build, which means that you will have to build a PC yourself. Also, you will have the links to all of these PCs down in the video description. That being said, let's start. With the first PC, we have the cheapest one on the list in the Victus 15L. This one is $530, so really cheap, and it comes with the i5-12400, which is a great CPU, and the Intel Arc A380, which is an okay GPU for 1080p gaming. It's not going to be anything flashy, especially since you are spending $530, so do not expect 1080p ultra settings in any game, but you can expect a 60 plus FPS on average experience depending on the games and the settings. If you play easy to run titles, and I'm talking about games like Valorant, Roblox, Minecraft, or even Fortnite, you will be just fine. But if you want to play really high demanding titles, like for example Hogwarts Legacy or Flight Simulator, then you will need a more powerful system, therefore you need to spend more money. With the next one, we have the Shadow 3 from Skytech. This one has the i5-10400F, which is becoming an old CPU, but honestly this is completely fine because even today the i5-10400F is going to be a great option for 1080p resolution gaming. With the GPU, you have the AMD Radeon RX 6600, and the total price for this system is $750. On the latest TechSpot test at 1080p on a 15 game average on high to ultra settings, the RX 6600 was able to average 71 FPS. So if you want a really consistent 60 plus FPS on average experience at 1080p and even on high settings, the 6600 is a nice option. So this Skytech Shadow 3 I think is really nice in terms of price to performance. However, that CPU is not the newest. For that reason, if you want a system with more updated hardware, I recommend you the Skytech Nebula from Amazon. This one is $850 and it comes with the i5-13400F, which is the latest i5, and you get the RTX 4060, which is the latest as well from Nvidia GPUs. Not only that, but here you get more storage in 1TB of NVMe SSD instead of 500 gigs, and you get much better airflow. So for 100 extra bucks, I highly recommend you upgrading to this one instead of the Shadow 3 because you get much better features, and the RTX 4060 is a 1080p ultra settings GPU depending on the game of course, but on that same 15 game average on high to ultra settings at 1080p it was able to average 91 FPS, which is actually really nice. And on that same test at 1440p it was able to average 61 FPS. So if you want to start playing at 1440p 60 plus FPS on average, this Skytech PC for $850 is your best option, and you can also use DLSS to achieve even higher FPS. DLSS is an upscaling technology if you were wondering. Another good thing is that you get the AV1 encoding, which if you're new to PCs, it means that you get the best encoder for streaming. So if you want to start doing streams, they are going to look amazing. Overall, in my opinion, this is the best price to performance budget system on the list. And with the best one, in my opinion, we have another Victus 15L, but this one is the upgraded version, and it comes with the RTX 3060 for the GPU, which is slightly slower than the RTX 4060 I've shown you from the Skytech PC from Amazon, but this one has the i7-13700, which is a much faster processor than the i5-13400F or any CPU I've mentioned, and this actually matters at 1080p resolution, especially on the more high demanding titles. So if you are a person that plays games like Valorant, Fortnite, CSGO, Call of Duty, or any multiplayer shooter title, this PC is going to be your best one by far. The i7-13700 is going to give you the fastest performance possible for under $1,000. And then the RTX 3060 is actually a really solid GPU for 1080p gaming and also 1440p depending on the settings and depending on the game, especially considering that you get 12 gigs of VRAM instead of 8 gigs on your graphics card, which means that you have basically no limitations in terms of settings when it comes to 1080p and also 1440p. You also get more storage in 1TB of hard drive plus 500 gigs of SSD. 1080p. Overall, this one is my favorite, but it's also the most expensive one on this list at $980, but in my opinion is worth the upgrade, especially if you play the games I mentioned before. So to recap, I recommend the first Victus 15L if you are on a really tight budget and you just want to do gaming on the side and you don't care that much about the FPS. The Shadow 3 I would recommend buying if you want a higher performance at 1080p, but yet you don't want to spend more than $750. Then the Skytech gaming PC from Amazon I would recommend buying if you want the best performance in terms of GPU demanding titles, and also if you want the best price to performance system. And I would buy the Victus 15L upgraded if you play high demanding CPU titles like the ones I've mentioned before, Fortnite, Valorant and all those type of shooters, but also if you play high demanding GPU titles at 1080p. The 3060 is still a great option. However, if you have more than $1,000, you can achieve a way better performance, especially at 1440p. So if you want to play at 1440p or even 4K, you will need to spend more money, and if you have that, I do recommend you watching my video about the best Prebuilt PCs of the month overall. You will have that video in the top right of the screen. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment what's your favorite GPU on the market if you have one, because I'm actually quite interested in that. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.